I mean, my dad was diagnosed in 2018, and that was the same year my sister passed away too. So
photos, videos, you courtside, you're at NBA All-Star Weekend, you're still able to get the things you need to get done. What's the mindset behind that? How what do you tell yourself?
To myself mentally, because like, how do you really handle something like that? You don't know what's gonna happen, and you have so much on the line. For to fold is just, I wouldn't be in a situation where I wanted to be in. So I just had to be mentally tough with it. And the one thing I did was
so you seen him throw hands. Who else got hands in the NBA? Because I know you're close with a lot of the players. Tell me who has hands in the league.
Bro, I promise you, he has probably the best hands in the league.
Welcome to the Maestre Mentality podcast, where I get to interview some of the dopest individuals that I've met through this amazing journey of life. Individuals with the most amazing stories and plenty of lessons to share. Every single person, though, we have one thing in common that has brought us together. We all have a love for boxing. But it's always been bigger than boxing. On that note, let's get into these stories.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the...
On today's episode, we get to know Chucky Cavestany. Chuck is a content creator, videographer, photographer, and also manages NBA superstar Minnesota Timberwolves Center Karl Towns. Chuck and I grew up together, but linked back up when we started boxing in LA. It was like picking up where we left off. Major highs and major lows followed up shortly after. Let's get into it. What's up, bro?
What up?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. It's been busy few months.
Yo, it's been a crazy few months. Before we even get into all the craziness, we got to ease everybody into it, man. And where you at right now?
Currently I'm in the Bay Area right now. I just came back from, where was I? I think I was in LA.
Yeah, you were in LA. We went to Nobu.
Right, we went to Nobu
before we sent Karl off.
Yes, sir. Right before the preseason. So.
Okay. So it's kind of wild though, because last year, so we recently linked up. Like I was talking about, we grew up together. We went to high school together, played sports together, everything like that. And then we kind of fell off after we graduated high school. Kind of went off and did our own things. I did the boxing thing. I moved to New York, but you've been all over the place. And even now, you're all over the place now. So you have a house. Like, where's your main residence? Like Vegas, Arizona, Minnesota, LA, the Bay?
Currently, my main one is actually, it's still the Bay, but I would say I'm working to be a Nevada resident just because Vegas is a spot.
Yeah, they treat you nice over there with everything you do, and again, we'll get into this a little deeper. Yeah, you're a content creator, and you manage Karl and everything, but you also have other businesses that you're pretty invested in. But let's take it back. Let's keep going back to the roots first. So my first in for you, high school, like I talked about, we growing up together and went to high school together. You went to Clayton Valley. You're a high level athlete. Like baseball you were the star baseball player there. I remember in high school, you'd be stoked if you made the JV team as a freshman. I think you were on varsity full on freshman year starting at a pretty high level school when it came to baseball. That was your thing. You tried to play in the major leagues. I remember you telling me that. But 15 years later, you're at the forefront of the creator world. You work with athletes, artists. You're in music. You work with celebrities. Tell me how you got there. Tell everybody how you got there.
Well, so yeah, basically in high school, I would say, at a young age, I kind of, coming from the Philippines, you try to find your identity in the States. You kind of, you meet all these people and you're kind of out of place. I didn't really speak English, and you had to learn all that. So I think around 7 or 8, I had to find some sort of skill that I was good at. My dad put me in soccer, and I wasn't very good at soccer, and he just tried all these other sports. Basketball was first, actually. And, I wasn't very good at that time. I was like
No,
short.
you're decent. You're better than me now, and that was my sport in high school.
Yeah. So I mean, and then yeah, we and actually I didn't grow up with my dad, so he was already in the States. So when I came here, we were trying to find a way to bond, and sports was like the one thing, and I was really naturally good at baseball. So throughout learning baseball, me and my dad bonded, and that's what actually made me love the sport even more. Not only that I was naturally good at it, but I just love the sport because I was able to hang out with my dad and like meet all these people, and it's a very multicultural sport. So it fit right in for me. But yeah, in high school, me and my dad spent so much time trying to get better at baseball, to where in high school it was super easy for me, and it was a high level of school. So I had a lot of respect from coaches and stuff because I was already ahead of the learning curve with that. So yeah, high school baseball. Went to college, did decent, and then high level. But at the end of the day, it's a business. I had some ups and downs with baseball because it was my whole life, and yeah, I went on a hiatus when I didn't fully make it, and that's when I kind of transitioned into the creative. I would say probably my junior and senior year of college, I kind of started. No, let me go back. Probably my freshman and sophomore year of college, I was open up to doing more photography, videography, more content, which was very early at that time. Instagram was just kind of, not really what it is now, but
That's like 2009. I feel like 2010, right?
somewhere like
Freshman.
2011, something like
Yeah.
that. I was definitely early, and I basically capitalized on that. Kind of just got creative with a lot of things, did a lot of photos, and just worked on that with experience, shooting music videos, and I had that in the back of my pocket if I didn't make it with baseball. So that's pretty much what happened. Didn't make it with baseball, switched over, and it opened up a whole new world for me in the content world, and that's pretty much it. Kind of led me to where I'm at now.
It's wild. So
Yeah,
just to kind of reverse it a little bit, because this is kind of interesting to me. So you're born in the Philippines, but your dad was in the States already before you moved here.
right.
When did you move to the States?
I was like 95, 96, something like that.
And how old were you?
I just turned 6.
Okay, so you're 6 years old, and
Sorry,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
6 years old, didn't speak no English. You barely had any time with your pops. And so
Right.
you moved here, you starting to get to spend more time with them, which that's a damn blessing right there. And I could relate because my dad was in the States and I was born in the Philippines. I didn't get reunited with them, luckily, when I was like 2 years old, 3 years old, we
Yeah,
moved here. But it wasn't until you were 6 or 7.
yeah,
And baseball brought y'all together. Crushed it in high school. College, you're trying to do your thing. I think you mentioned to me it was you're in between content creating and still trying to make baseball work. You even worked out with some major league teams, right?
yeah. So I was working out with the Dodgers. I worked out with the White Sox. I got hurt. I got hurt in that whole process, uh, especially with the Dodgers, and then that's when everything kind of, I started going away with the sport, which was hard. That's your whole life, and you kind of start going away with it. You kind of don't want to face it. So I went on a little hiatus, and throughout that hiatus with sports in general, just baseball actually, with baseball, didn't watch baseball, didn't pick up a baseball. That's when I kind of got better with my craft in the whole content world. I would say more towards film and videography.
Was it hard for you to let baseball go? Because I mean, I played basketball growing up. That was my thing, and it was humbling to know, like, yo, even lower level, collegiate level for me
Yeah,
was out of my league. Was that hard to part ways with it? Because I bet a ton of people here were high school stars, and you know,
yeah.
reality kicks in. We ain't as nice as we thought we were.
I know. I got lucky because even at a young age, even in high school, I was always playing with older kids, especially once I got to the higher level. There was people older than me who kind of went to the minor league system as well and didn't make it. So I kind of saw my I was weighing out my chances. So I was getting ready to face the music, and I was still hoping for, that one chance, but I was ready to face the music, so it wasn't a surprise for me if it didn't happen. And when it got closer to it, and my chances got slimmer and slimmer, like I said, I had that in the back of my pocket of the whole content thing. I was really good at it already. I had a lot of experience with it. Even during college, like during the summers, I would shoot music videos and then go and drive to my baseball game, because I was playing on scout teams, and we would play all over the place. And I would, shoot some music videos in Oakland, like at 12, and I had a night game at 7, and then I'll wrap up, drive over to the next city, and get ready for my baseball game. So I was always juggling it.
Yo, it's wild. I remember, I think we were still in middle school at the time, but we were at your pad, and you were trying to get me to rap, and you were trying to record some music. And I remember you had the mic,
Yeah.
but it was like I think it was a cheaper mic, and then you had a paper towel in front of the mic to like filter. Like you always been.
Oh, us.
Been.
We always gotta find some way to make it work. Like we didn't have money to buy a full studio set.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I always look back. It's like, well, we grew up. We were born in a place where it didn't have so many resources. So, and they still made it work. So I kind of brought that over to the States. It's like I don't need a dope mic to make songs. I don't need a dope computer to make beats. So it was like I had the free trial for Fruity Loops, and you just made it work.
You always had, you definitely brought your own style to everything. I remember in high school, like people always talked about that. Even the little phrases we would have, like remember we always say like "got them" to everyone, and oh yeah, we got you,
yeah,
like that. Damn, it feels like yesterday, but so long ago, bro.
Yeah, bro. We had a lot of slangs back then. It's crazy because I didn't realize you didn't. I kind of just remember that you didn't fully go to the school. You switched schools.
Yeah, I switched
after like a year or two, right? Or like your first year. But we still linked up all the time because I feel like we were like the only Filipinos in our school.
We're the only Filipinos at Plain Valley for sure, and it's funny. Like I switched schools because I got punched in the face by that girl from the other school, bro, at that basketball game, the Samoan girl. Yo, she fucked me up.
Is that your transitional period of fighting?
Honestly, it wasn't. I know today's episode is really more about you, but my transition of fighting was a friend of mine in high school. We just graduated the summer after, and he was my friend, but I found out he was dating my ex. And then I kind of confronted him about it, and not wanting to fight because I was never a fighter. I was a skinny kid in high school.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, like that's messed up. Like, why are you dating her? Like, I thought we were boys. And then he like kind of blew it off, but he was telling everybody at like all my friends, like, yo, anytime I see, everyone called me Jerry growing up. Anytime I see Jerry, especially at a party, I'm going to beat him up. And so I told him, dude, like, why wait till the party? Like, come to the park tonight and fight me. And he dropped me, but I remember I broke his nose. I think he had to get surgery or something. So,
bro, that's crazy. You were in Berean, right?
Yeah. Well, I just graduated at the time, so.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Little, Christian boy, like Christian high school. Going back to you with your content creating though, so you started with music, right? And shooting a lot of music videos.
Yeah, I went. I like you said, in high school, I was trying to be like a music producer and all that. So the arts was always in there, like being creative and stuff. And then in college, I got into shooting music videos and stuff like that out here in the Bay Area with upcoming artists. I just saw opportunity in that. Not really a career, but just more of like testing my skills out in a way. Mm-hmm. And then, I didn't realize it was such a big marketing play for my own brand. And, shooting music videos for free and then getting my name out there and then practicing, getting experience compared to being in college and in the class, like trying to learn, doing it and making mistakes was like the best way. I was in college, but like, the experience really got me to a whole nother level with content creating.
Yeah. And then that led to you meeting Karl, right? You were creating content. Is that how you linked up with Karl?
Well, it was through a mutual friend. You know, in a way, yes, because in especially when I moved to LA, after baseball, I moved to LA, and pretty much I put myself in a position to network with people, and then I met one of my friends who actually was dating him at that time, um, and basically, you know, it all just came together. He saw what I was doing with my social media, and how I did my content. And I believe it was his rookie year. His agent actually reached out to me and asked me to work with him for I think our first thing was like an eBay commercial, an eBay ad on Instagram, and you know people were just starting to make money off Instagram at that time. And I didn't really follow NBA. I didn't really follow the NBA basketball, who was coming up, who got drafted. So I didn't really know his caliber at that time. And you know, I live in LA, and LA is just you meet so many celebrities, and I was already kind of like whoever I meet. I wasn't really starstruck to anything. I was kind of more like, you know, if you're a genuine person, that's who I'll you know, I'll basically chat it up with you, and you know, we'll figure something out. But you know, it all came together. Me and him became best friends. Long story short, and then we ended up working together, doing some business stuff together, and then working with him with content at first, and then now we're working on a lot more things. I'm managing and operating a lot of his brands and doing different things. So yeah,
Yo,
it's
you've been
crazy.
with him. This is year 7 coming up
This is
in the league.
year 8, year 8,
Oh, year 8 for him
year
coming.
8.
And you've
Yeah,
been with him since his rookie year, and you helped him develop his brand and brand partnerships and his
right.
content. But you know, I've been blessed to be able to spend time with you guys together, and it's cool to see y'all are like brothers, bro. And
Yeah, bro. It's
it's
just one
so
of those.
natural.
Yeah, it's just one of those situations, and you know this. You know a lot of people too throughout your boxing career, and just also just who you met throughout your whole life. You know genuine people, and you know who aren't genuine, and and then on his side too. He's an NBA player. You don't know who's genuine or not. So
Yeah.
we both kind of had the same vision with life and how things worked out, and you know he's a genuine dude, and you know I was never looking for anything from him, and it just became very natural. Like you said, we became best friends. We actually didn't like each other at first, and um, and he could tell you that. Actually, he tells that same story that he did not like me because I was best friends with his girlfriend at that time, and you
Oh,
know,
no way.
yeah.
You
So
never told me this story.
yeah, that's a whole nother story. We could chop it up, but
Yeah.
he'll even say that he didn't like
Yeah.
me at first. But you know, at the end of the day, it you know I had my own thing going. I was already, you know, like I said, doing music videos. I was directing music videos. I had my own brand. I was making my own money, and it just became like a natural thing. You know, it was more like he sat down, and was like, "Yo, let's work together. I love what you do, and you know, I need help with my social media and all that." So and he focuses on basketball, and it worked out very well. We became best friends, and more, and now literally we're like family. So it's
Yeah, y'all are straight up like family, and that says a lot that y'all got close and it was so organic and natural. Because the amount of time I spent with him, I really noticed Karl. He's very into whatever he's in now. So like conversations I'll have with him, if he's talking about finance and investments, like he
mhm,
studies that to the T, really like immerses himself in that. Real estate, he really gets into it. Boxing, he really gets into it. Streaming, gaming, like whatever he's into at that moment, you could tell he's like really, really like upfront about it and into it, versus like other people will just kind of like things will go over their head. He's very involved in everything that he does. And you know, that's wild. You guys have known each other for so long, since his rookie year. I mean, obviously you've been through a lot of ups and downs with him, and with the whole COVID era and
yeah,
everything that happened. But even like going to you, like him being there for you, like so recently we just celebrated your pops' life, and
yeah,
him and Jordan flew up for the service, only to fly back to LA the next day. Like they made time. Like it's literally a family thing, and that's why I
yeah.
love spending so much time with you guys. But Talk with me about that, man. You went through a tough 5 years, or if not before that, everything like,
Yeah.
but break all that down and how you had to keep your workflow going and travel with them through the season while you have all these things going on.
Yeah, so I mean, my dad was diagnosed in 2018, and that was the same year my sister passed away too. So it was a tough year, and let's see, he was in the NBA in 2015, and our relationship grew more throughout the years. But I would say 2017 to 2018, me and him got really close, and we were working together, and basically financially, like, I was okay financially. I was good. I already had a bunch of things going on, and luckily, working with him, he's not the type to be like, you know yo, you need to we got to get this done right now, right now, right now. He I told him what was going on, and he saw my dad like his dad. So it was like one of those things where if I needed time, he would give me the time. And that whole year, my dad was going through, uh, intense chemo, like almost every month. So I was basically living with him in the hospital, and I was very fortunate and blessed to have him as like one of my business partners, and who I work with, understood what was going on, and we put things to pause, and I was able to stay with my dad and then fly out to do some work and then go back and see my dad. And if I was working some other job, it would have been really tough to do that. And I was just really blessed that year, and it worked out. It worked out perfectly to where I was able to spend that time with him. And then throughout the years, he got better in 2019, and that's when we went full bore with everything. Started building his YouTube up, building his social media, and my dad was in remission. So, I was fortunate to have the time with him, with my dad that time, and these last year or two, it started to kind of come down a little bit. And like I said, he's my business partner, and he's my right hand guy. So he gives me the time I need to kind of go through what I had to go through, and just grateful for all that.
Yeah, I mean, that speaks so much about him and you, and on his side, like, very understanding of what you're going through with your family and all that, especially when you guys are first starting to get to know each other, in your business relationship and in your friendships. Like,
Yeah,
he lets you go off and do your thing, but at the flip side, you're able to spend all this time with your pops and try to help him throughout this tough time, and you're
yeah,
still able to get some work done and keep
yeah,
growing.
yeah,
Because following you, even though we haven't really gotten close since the last couple of years, the years before that, I still have seen you popping off. You're I always see like photos, videos of you courtside. You're at NBA All-Star Weekend. You're still able to get the things you need to get done.
yeah. And
And
it
what's the
was.
mindset behind that? What do you tell yourself?
Well, that's like the one thing I've always grew up with, just trying to just be grateful. Like, I mean, our situation is it can be so unique, and sometimes we forget that we're blessed to even be in the situation that we're in. Be able to do what we're doing. You with your boxing career, and how much you've already accomplished, and I've always just looked at every win as as a blessing. So I always took every single thing that I've accomplished, you know, as like why be negative about any situation. And it opened up more when my dad was diagnosed. It really made me, kind of dig deeper into myself mentally, because like, how do you really handle something like that? You don't know what's going to happen, and you have so much on the line, and and I had so much on my plate that if I were to fold, it's just, I wouldn't be in a situation where I wanted to be in. So I just had to be mentally tough with it. And the one thing I did was to always show gratitude and be grateful for how far I've gone. And
Yeah,
just that's what helped me kind of move forward, like move
yeah.
forward with any situation.
Because a lot of people, when they're going through tough things, especially death, is nobody really knows how to deal with it, and dealing with some, your pops, who you guys were super super close with, like dealing with his cancer and everything. Like, the only thing that got you through was not the only thing, but main thing that got you through is gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so hard to be grateful for things when everything's on fire in front of you. And
Yeah.
dude, I really respect you on that level and look up to you on that level. And even last summer, we were training a lot. You're making time for yourself, taking care of your health, but still able to take care of all those around you. And again, we really are blessed. We both came from the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I came when I was 3, you came here when you were 7, and you start to spend such and have great moments and memories with your dad and build this dope career, man. It's incredible to see.
Yeah, and I've had at the end of the day, we've all had our ups and downs, and like I said, that year of 2018, my dad got diagnosed and my sister passed away. It really, you know, what more can happen?
Yeah,
So
that's a haymaker right there,
it was a
bro.
haymaker, bro, and
Took
that's
it on the chin.
yeah, it had to take it on the chin, and either quit or just keep going. So that quitting was never really an option. So that just helped me as a person. It definitely motivated me to be to be better for other people because someone's gonna go through the same thing I did, and they're gonna. What I did, I looked for people that went through like how I was going through and kind of tried to learn from them, and I want to be that kind of person to kind of just have that have that mentality of not to break down at these situations to where I wouldn't be able to kind of lift myself up. And I was blessed to kind of go through everything and have a straight mental with everything. And yeah, bro, when the pandemic happened, it affected a lot of people, but also, as you know, Carl's mom passed away, and that was another hard time to go through with everyone as well. And that's another moment where you got to keep your head straight, or everything goes haywire.
Mm-hmm.
And just another life lesson, another thing to grow.
Yeah, y'all look out for each other, which I think is huge. Like a huge takeaway from talking about this is like the people you surround yourself with, and I'll take it back to you and us and the whole family dynamic with you and Carl and even Jordan, right? Like y'all have lost iconic figures in your life, and to have each other's backs during those times, like it really, really helps. So, I mean, I encourage, like, even for myself, I'm really strict on the people I bring into my life as at a close family level, like who I spend time with.
Right.
Like I'll drive hours to spend time with you. I'll fly to spend time with you because I really genuinely appreciate you being in my life, and you've taken that too. And I think that's a huge lesson for everyone is not surrounding themselves with people who don't really have their back. And like forget the celebrity status, the athletes, what they do is like who really looks out for you when everything's on fire. Who's going to help carry you out of that.
Exactly.
So that's
the key to success too with anything, just life in general, is you got to have the right people around you, and like you said, like genuine. You don't just do things just so someone could post you on Instagram type deal. Like these are all real family situations. Like we like spending time with each other. We our girls we need to get them to hang out more because they're a lot like it's all, you're right. It's just basically what you were saying. It's all genuine things.
Yeah, that's definitely, I feel like a lot of people get that confused. They're like, you have 5 people around you are who you're going to be. Like, I only want to surround myself with millionaires and billionaires and successful business. Life is more than that. Absolutely. Like, I want to surround myself with successful people in their profession, successful people following their passion. But I also want to surround myself with people that'll make me a better person, and look out for me, and just even you speaking about your gratitude during fucking hard times. Like, what do you think I'm going to start thinking about when times are tough for me? I'm going to start being a little more gracious with the things around me, and that's how it works.
Yeah, and I grew, like, talking about people around me, throughout those 5 years. I started to see who was really my friend or not. You're in a really, like you said, who's gonna be there to help you out when things go bad. And I was just kind of seeing certain people complain about the wrong things, and really, like, act like their life was really in shambles when not even my situation but other people's situation are way worse than mine,
Mm-hmm.
and they look at life way differently than someone's complaining about something where they couldn't get a shoe at a certain date or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
It's bigger than that. Yo, life's
you
bigger
don't
than
know who
that.
you hang out with, so that was a big how would you say, like, just an eye opener on who I wanted to be around.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving on to the next thing. I mean, so we reconnected the last couple of years and got close because of boxing. We
Yeah.
started boxing together, and we were boxing pretty consistently summer 2021, I think, right? And dude, you were getting nice. People were like hitting you up to spar and stuff. I remember we were training at the gym, and other fighters would be like, "Yo, does that guy fight?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah, bro.
What made you want to really take your boxing to that level?
Well, I think it's just in our blood, bro. We're Filipino. It's like either
Yeah,
basketball or boxing.
yo, right?
Well, but
Basketball or boxing?
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like we kind of look for, as we're growing up, we always want that respect from other people, and I would say I found that respect through baseball, right? But I've always looked at like legendary boxers that, like, let's say Manny Pacquiao, of course, and at a younger age, I always looked at him and I always wanted to like get that respect like he did. And one thing was the boxing, so I definitely started boxing earlier. I wasn't as skillful as like I am now after I was training with you. You actually showed me like the real way to really box, but I had it naturally. It was naturally there. When
Yeah.
when you have something that's natural, it's like you even said it, like you're naturally jabbing. It's just I had it, but I just never had that right person to kind of guide me the right way. And I've always been training that way, and watched a lot of boxing, big boxing fan. And I just copy my favorite boxers, and I look at little tutorials on how to really footwork and punches. And then once we started working together, and I saw that you were already after, what was it, after high school and in college, you started doing the fight game. And I was like, yeah, that's sick. And you were doing it, bro. You were really killing it. So like from afar, I was like, yeah, one day, like once somehow our life will come back, and we gotta get the mitts up, and you gotta show me what you've been doing. So, and it happened, bro. We linked up, and it all worked out. You got me in there, and you worked out with me, and I got a lot better, like in a really short amount of time. And that's because you were just training me the right way, and you just like your experience really showed when you were coaching me.
Wild, dude. Like two Filipino kids. I wanted to be a professional basketball player, and I turned to boxing. But even with boxing, like I had never had the craziest, winning streak, like crazy accolades, but I made my mark in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you with baseball, and you wanted to play in the major leagues.
Yeah.
You ventured off from that into something else, but we're both doing what we love at a high level. And it goes to show, like, don't matter where you come from, you come at everything with gratitude, hard work, and you could be a force at whatever you want to do. It don't matter.
And the way our sports are, I mean, I say sports in general, you really gotta have a certain discipline and a certain way of looking at things to really continue doing your sport. For baseball, it was discipline. You had to show up a few hours before. You had to get your body right. You had to stay fit. You had to work on your skills, and it really goes into life, right? You gotta wake up a certain time. You gotta, whatever you do, you gotta work. You gotta, in my opinion, you gotta work out. You gotta stay relatively healthy. You gotta eat right. You gotta take care of your body. And with our sports, it's like it's all related to life. And I feel like if you don't implement those things in what we do, you wouldn't be able to last. And like what you've been doing, look what you do. You're still doing it, and you're doing it at a higher
Mm-hmm.
level. With baseball, I went as far as I could, but from what I learned in baseball, I went with it to the whole content creating and doing businesses. It's the same thing. You still have to get up a certain time. You still have to take care of yourself. You still have to get things done. And that's the one big thing I took away from what I've been doing
Yeah, no, and that's why I do the things. That's why we do this podcast. That's why we do put out the content that we do. That's why we, that's my passion, is showing people that boxing has changed my life. Again, I don't have no national tournament championships. I've never won no belts, but boxing has changed me for the better. That I literally think that it could change everybody for the better out there. And that's why I show that. And it's brought us together and done so much for it. And it translates to everything in life, just like baseball translates to everything in life for you. Taking it back to boxing, my final question for you with that, boxing has taught you so much. What is it that it taught you that you want to share with others?
Well, one thing was definitely discipline. A whole nother level of discipline. You can't be boxing and not be I wouldn't say in shape, but I would say you wouldn't last long training with you for. I mean, well, how long do we train for? Sometimes we only train for like 30 minutes. Sometimes.
Yeah.
And like there's days where I stayed up late and not in a great shape, and I could barely last 10 minutes because boxing is so taxing on the body, and you really got to focus and be prepared to kind of go through it when you're boxing. So I would say discipline is one thing that I learned, and sometimes we fall off of being disciplined. Just what happens with life. Like I was going through a lot of things the past 5 years, and sometimes I would, fall off on the discipline, and I just need a little reminder. And boxing was a big reminder of, look, you got to stay on top of what you're doing, or you're gonna fall off. And one thing I don't ever want to do is fall off on something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing for taking time off and having to deal with certain things, but you always bounce back because of your discipline. And that's what I love about it. And again, it truly relates boxing to life. When you talk about discipline, and I say this to all my clients, and I'll constantly preach this in my content and everything, is if you do the little things consistently over time, you'll be able to do the bigger things in the whole grand scheme of things. And doing the little things enforce the discipline on like times 10 when you're boxing, because you really have to focus on, literally, you throw a jab, the shoulder protects you, the backhand is tight, this is straight onto the target, it has to be on target, not off by an inch, to the left, to the right, up, down. The details and the discipline behind executing one punch is so like, it's so high that you start to look at everything in life with a lot more discipline. Like, okay, like my morning routine, how am I treating this person? How is this person treating me? Who am I surrounding myself with? What does my day look like? How am I executing things? Like, am I doing it with that much focus and discipline? So 1,000,000% agree, bro.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, bro, it's just, even once like I said, I've trained with boxing, before, but once we started doing like your training, where I was coming out there like 2-3 times a week.
No, we're full on. Like, you train like a pro.
Yeah, bro, it's almost like an hour and a half drive, 2 hour drive in the morning. Like, I would call you like at 5:30, 6 o'clock, be like, yo, I'm on my way. I'll be there in a couple hours, a little traffic coming from LA. And we get it in, bro. And then sometimes it'll be like an hour, sometimes it'll be 30 minutes, but it's like that's the best way to start my day, is like, having that schedule to come, and don't be late, like get there on time, and get into start working and make sure I get as much as I can out of it. And it's just character building too.
1 million, dude. Like, I mean, I wanted to fight this year, and I probably won't, because I won't get on a card that I wanted to, but I put myself through training camps literally all year, even with no fight, just because I love what it does to my mind, my spirit, my mood, my emotions, my body, like everything. It like, I may not be taking on a professional fight, but I train like a professional fighter every day, because it just makes us feel better, just makes us better. So
you have accountability. You gotta stay on your diet. You gotta make sure in the morning. You have so many other responsibilities. Like any professional boxer, they have responsibilities, The only difference is that they make a certain amount of money, and they have, you know, 1 or 2 fights a year, but
Yeah.
there's not much difference. You still have a schedule that you have to do. You're a dad, you're a family guy, and you have all these responsibilities, but you still, you know, put yourself accountable to get up early, to get your training in, to do, you know, to get your clients, and then to run your businesses. So it's there's really not much of a difference.
Yeah, 1 million would, and it's it takes so much skill to do so little things. But it's wild when Cat puts on the gloves, he could just hit the mitts and flow like
Right.
he's been training. He's
I
like a
feel
true athlete, bro. And he's good at baseball too, right?
honestly, bro, yeah, naturally he's really good at baseball. Naturally, boxing is very natural. I would say just in general with him, you teach him a certain thing, he'll learn it like within an hour. Honestly, he's just
Wild.
one of those
Yeah.
those like 1% of people that just knows
Yeah.
how
But
to.
not as even like I spoke about earlier, not just sports. Like you talk to him about finance and real estate, and
Yeah.
he seeks out like experts in it and really wants to immerse himself and learn about it, and that's dope,
He's
bro.
the definition of trying to put himself in the right position. He has the right people around him. He knows, you know, he knows who to trust, and he just has the right team around him. You know, from his family to all the other people he works with. They're all, you know, it's a very small circle, and
Yeah.
that's why he's so successful. And yeah, he's just super talented, and just he knows what he's doing with the basketball.
I love it. Love it, bro. So you seen him throw hands. Who else got hands in the NBA? Because I know
Ooh,
you're close with a lot of the players. Tell
um,
tell me who has hands in the league.
Bro, I promise you, he has probably the best hands in the league.
Karl Towns has the best hands in the NBA, and you're not
Bro,
being biased.
I'm not, bro. I'm telling you, I've seen. Look, respect it, all NBA guys. Like they're so good at shooting a basketball, dribbling a basketball, that's the thing. But the hands, bro. When you put the hands, like, it's different, and you can tell
Yo,
right away. It's like baseball. When you see someone throw a baseball for the first time, you'll know if they got it. And Cat definitely is one of those people that got hands. I don't think I've ever seen any NBA player that could really box. To be honest.
yeah, he gets good leverage on his shots, holding mitts for him and everything. And again, for basketball being his full time profession, I'm like, damn, bro, like if you really put time into this,
Yeah,
you could be nice with it.
you got it,
And
bro.
even golf, I saw y'all golfing in Jamaica together, and then you guys wanted to go to Top Golf last week. I was like, I'm cool if we don't go. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not that good at go.
I
Y'all are
know.
just gonna make me look bad.
No, but I mean, yeah, that's just the type he is, bro. The way he just learns things so quick. I would say boxing is very very natural to him. He definitely, as you see, he's got hands. He's a tall dude. He's got leverage. So, yeah, out of the NBA, he's definitely got the best hands for sure. For sure.
That's dope. That's dope to hear, bro. Well, I appreciate you for coming on here and sharing your story and everything. I'm definitely leaving inspired and learned a lot about this, especially recapping, being gracious and practicing gratitude through the tough times and being very particular on who you surround yourself with, not just through tough times, but in general in life, because it that bleeds into your life.
Yeah.
And dude, like we're two Filipino kids just trying to make the most of what we got, man. And I appreciate you for coming on the show,
I
bro.
appreciate you for having me, bro. We still got a lot of things in work too. We got a lot of business things to still work on, and we just started kind of working together with that kind of in that kind of aspect.
Yeah, you're managing my brand partnerships, and we've done some dope stuff. Like we worked with Lobos Tequila, we even Johnny Walker. We've been doing some dope things, so I'm
Yeah,
grateful for that.
yeah. Ever since we had that talk about last year, bro, like your social media has just been popping off, bro. Like everything is just looking like it's flowing,
A
and
little bit.
it's really related to what you do. And I notice people are inspired when you put up, your kids and like your daily vlogs. Like
Yeah.
there's people that literally look at that and like motivates them. They could be sitting there like 7 in the morning laying down, and they see you up at 5:30. You're over here posting, your daily routine, and they're like, "Yeah, I gotta step myself up." It's just those are the things. That's why we put these content up, is to inspire other people, and
Yeah.
you've been killing it.
1 million. Yeah, exactly. Reinforcing that again is like like this podcast, for example, is to show people like, yo, we're just like you. What separates us is simple things, is who we're surrounding ourselves with, practicing gratitude every day, you know, understanding that the situations we're in, we're blessed to be in those, and we're going to make the most out of them. That's really all that separates us, you know, and it's we're blessed to do the things we do and to put that message out there. So and your message too, man, is so you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, and you have a YouTube channel as well. What are the handles for all those so people can make sure they follow you?
It's all Chucky Anthony.
Chuck Anthony.
Yeah, they're all pretty much the same. And yeah, we got a lot of things in the works. My YouTube channel, I used to have all music videos in there. It's all just music videos of like old artists in the Bay Area. But now I'm trying to change it to a whole, you know, vlogging and more of
show more of the life.
Me, yeah, more my brand. And I only got one video on there, but I'm gonna start doing more.
I'll hold you accountable to it, because you know, people are going to be following you more. You got a big season ahead, and then all the other things you're doing on the side of that, all the other businesses and the life and your life, and following you along that, and you'll be putting that up more and showing people more of that side on your content end. So make sure you guys follow Chuck. Again, brother, thank you so much for being on my show, episode 1, and we'll definitely do a recap episodes later, my man. So until next time.
All right, brother.
Good shit.